matter who you are or who you identify with, you have or you will experience a moment in your life where you feel angry or hurt. I know how this feels, as I have been in your shoes before. A few years ago, I was in a new place to start a new chapter of my life. And because of this change, I found myself in a room of new people. After a few minutes of conversation, one of the kids I didn't know turned to me and said something that would change me forever. Are you Jewish? But that's not how he said it. Are you Jewish? I told him I was and asked why he wanted to know. He looked at me as if I were repulsive. Do you know what he said? I wish you and all the other Jews had burnt in the ovens in the Holocaust so we wouldn't have to deal with you anymore. Yes, those words actually came out of a kid my age's mouth. Believe me, I know, that is a lot for you to take in. And for me, this person attacked my faith, but for you, someone could attack your race, your sexual orientation, your religion, etc. And as you could imagine, I was shocked. Why would someone say something so horrible? Why would someone have so much hate and resentment towards me? Why do they hate me? And not just hate me, why do they wish me dead? If this wasn't enough, why would they draw upon the worst genocide in modern history to be the cause of my murder? Obviously, and for good reason, it didn't take me long to despise this person. And I didn't even know him that well. But one thing I did know is that he definitely was not Jewish. As I was trying to process what could have motivated him to say these things, I struggled with making assumptions about his religion, just as he had done mine. I just could not wrap my head around how he, a member of a religion that puts such emphasis on loving thy neighbor, could treat me, his neighbor, so poorly. After months and months of this resentment boiling inside me, a starting realization came to my mind. I too had become hateful. I hated him because he hated me. I fought his anger with my own. I began to counter all of his assumptions about my religion by doing the exact same thing about his. Because I was put in a situation where I felt victimized, hate took over my heart and it affected me deeply. Fortunately, I realized that my resentment towards his religion were not true, and the anger I felt towards him was not helping me in any way. In fact, it was hurting me. This is when I decided I needed to change my way of thinking. He had made it up in his head that I was his enemy. He decided this without truly getting to know me as a person. He was closed-minded, and I knew in that moment I wanted to become open-minded. Now, I do not think being open-minded means you absolutely have to love every person in the world. But I do think it requires you to respect the views, cultures, and differences of your peers, even if you do not agree with them or practice them yourself. In my opinion, people have the common misconception that the way they are is the only way to be. But in reality, this is just not true. We are all different, and that is an amazing thing. When I decided to become the better person, I wanted to use this philosophy of open-mindedness to grow from my experience. I was not going to let this hateful person control me. I identified how he made me feel and that it was wrong. I then decided how I wanted to feel. Now, of course, I am not saying you should tolerate the hateful actions or words of an oppressor. Let me hone in on this for a second. What that person did to me was unacceptable. Things like these need to be stopped in our communities. But together, as an open-minded community, this is possible. We can put an end to hate. Use their actions and words as an incentive to not be that way. Don't fight hate with hate. Fight closed-minded people with being the opposite, open-minded. And to do that, one thing you're going to have to do first is forgive others' ignorance. Call them on it, challenge them to make a change, but forgive it too. And that is a battle for sure. Forgiveness is not easy, but it is in your best interest. Forgiveness allows us to let go of those negative emotions that hurt us and replace them with positive ones. All that resentment you bottle up, let it go. Send it away. When we suppress these traumatic experiences, they have a tendency to fester inside, to darken your mindset. You have to let them go, but live in them for a minute first. Feel them, know them, and acknowledge them. Because you should really feel these challenging emotions instead of repressing them. If everyone would learn to accept and respect those around them for who they really are, we can slowly heal the hate and negativity that infects our communities. I invite you to reflect on these hateful moments. Did you react to these moments of hatred thoughtfully and with empathy so that the situation did not spiral into something even more toxic? Sometimes it will feel like all you can do is contemplate everything that went wrong in the situation, and you might dig yourself into a hole of frustration. And sadly, one of the ways we feel that we can claw our way out is by becoming the oppressor too. But if we make a conscious effort to change how we think, to accept those among ourselves for their true, authentic selves, we can create a more open-minded future. Although the sting of his words may never completely go away, I've been able to soothe that pain by being open-minded. I have grown from my experience in a healthy way. So the next time you find yourself in a position of hurt and anger, remember the things we've talked about today so that you can heal in a way that does not result in even more hate. Because I know we can all become the better person. Thank you.